You're watching Doc Deason's weather. You're watching Doc Deason's weather.
Two decades of severe weather experience here for you when it counts. This is Doc Deason's weather, live now.
Well, good evening, everybody. We are at 8:49 on this Friday night, keeping an eye on severe weather across the area. And as we do that, we're going to be watching showers and thunderstorms, which are at least capable of producing a tornado north and kind of northwestern counties, we'll call it, of East Texas for right now. So let's get in on the radar and notice kind of what it is that we're working with this evening. First off, as we get in tighter, we got tornado warnings now active for folks in south. Let's call it north and eastern sections of Hopkins County. Weather Service has also extended that tornado warning now. The Shreveport office taken over, and including folks in northern, what would be Franklin County, and also northwestern Titus County right now. All right, so several counties involved in that. This is part of a larger cluster of thunderstorms which has been working southward out of Oklahoma here for the last couple of hours, moving its way across the Red River and producing quite a bit of hail, and now that tornadic circulation in there as well. You can see the red warnings, or the red boxes indicating the tornado warnings. We had been dealing primarily with severe thunderstorm warnings for several hours prior, but that has since kind of spun down into what it is we're dealing with now with the tornadic stuff, and the severe weather potential looks to continue here into the overnight hours. Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center now got a new severe thunderstorm watch box, which will be coming out here shortly. That's going to cover a good chunk of East Texas, and that'll run until looks like 4 o'clock, I think it was, in the morning. So we'll have that in place for a bit. Hey there, Cameron. Thanks for being here. Elise, appreciate you watching from White House tonight. So as we continue to watch this all kind of come together, the main concern right now is going to be up along the I-30 counties, at least for the time being. Okay, nothing really doing south of that. But we have quite a few friends up in the I-30 corridor and points north of there. So we want to be sure that they are apprised of what's going on and give that the credit that it is due for at least these storms right now. A lot of hail in here as well, upwards to tennis ball sized hail there in some of that brighter purple shading there. About to scoot into the extreme north and eastern parts of what will be Hopkins County and extreme northwestern Franklin County as well, but still primarily over into Lamar County and adjacent sections of Red River County for right now. So this is kind of more or less what we're going to be watching for the next couple of hours as the radar continues to show storms tracking gradually to the south and the southeast. You can see now too these counties down south of there, inside of that kind of that yellowish outline. Those are the counties now just placed under the severe thunderstorm watch, which again goes until, like I said, I think it's 4 o'clock in the morning for up to about 65 mile an hour winds and around 2-inch hail. So let's see if that does how that does run here. So that's not what we want. So we'll go back here and click that. And let's see. Yeah, till 4 o'clock. So we'll run that here well after midnight tonight for you guys from Shelby County. This will include Shelby County, Rusk County, Cherokee County, Anderson County, and all points north of there. That, of course, includes Tyler, Longview, Jacksonville, Henderson, Carthage, and they're going to pull the remainder of the tornado watch, which we had out, ironically, for the northern counties that we've been talking about for the last number of hours. They're pulling that out and going to replace the entirety of the East Texas sector there with a severe thunderstorm watch box until 4. And that also stretches over, you can see, over into Louisiana, out I-20 towards Ruston, down to Natchitoches, and again, a lot of folks involved in that for what's going to be a very late night. The only severe weather we have in our area immediately at the moment is going to be for this cluster of storms, which prompted the tornado warning for northeastern Hopkins County, and then the Shreveport Weather Service office takes over warning responsibility when the stuff clears out of Hopkins County, gets into Franklin County. That's when Shreveport takes over. They opted to go ahead with a tornado warning for northern Franklin and also northwestern Titus County. And that will run until until 9:45. So about 50 minutes from now is what we're looking at for that Franklin and Titus County area. And you can see some showers and storms really trying to blossom there, just south and west, kind of on the tail end of this complex. Is a little bit better lift and some of that cool air aloft, helping to bring some, and probably some outflow too, helping to bring some additional storms together as this stuff kind of gets itself a little bit more organized over western Hopkins County now. And you can see some showers all the way back over towards Greenville as well. So, kind of getting into more or less what we were curious was going to happen during the evening and into the overnight hours. The big talk today has been regarding what was going to be the potential for some more significant hail. And so that seems to have materialized, at least in some ways, up well north of I-30. But the bigger concern, obviously, right now, going to be for anything tornadic in that those northern areas of our East Texas general coverage area for right now. So we'll keep it here for a bit and monitor the situation. A lot of folks checking in. I see from Wood County. Looks like Terry's in Wood County right now asking, what are you guys looking like? And we'll be watching probably a pretty good lightning show, I would think, from at least northern Wood County. If you can see back off to the north, you've got a lot of lightning in this area here, back up closer to Paris. And, uppers toward Bogota and those areas of Red River County. And again, a lot of hail potential in there over south, what will be southeastern Lamar County, down. Yeah, that's some impressive looking hail. When you start looking at these reflectivity numbers, 72 dBz, that's an awful hot signal there. So there's probably your potential for some of that tennis ball sized hail. I would think if there's going to be any of that, it's going to be a good ways east of Highway 19, south of 271, southwest of there. But man. So I'm going to adjust a couple of things here real fast. So we'll be watching this stuff here, I think, for a bit. Whether we are on for the entirety of the time is doubtful, but we will hang here through these tornado warned situations, at least for now. So if you're just hopping on, nothing going on along the I-20 corridor or even close to I-20 for now. Okay, I just wanted to come in and visit with our neighbors who are north of the I-30 corridor up into northern Franklin, northern Titus, as well as northwestern Hopkins County for these storms that are diving southeast out of and off the Red River, producing some sizable hail. and at least of the makings of tornadic stuff there, virtue of the tornado warnings that we have in place for the moment. And so that'll be something that we'll at least kind of monitor here for the next little bit and let that stuff get itself either down in intensity slightly or, hopefully just downward in intensity level here. Amanda, just let me know when I need to get the pet carriers ready. I'll let you know, Amanda. Appreciate you being there. It's kind of can make for a lengthy evening, I know. So that, I know after dark, we had that massive tornado up in Oklahoma last night. If you missed that, looks like at least probably an EF4 tornado. They've got damage indicators for EF4 up near the Enid, Oklahoma area from last night during the 8 o'clock hour, which is just, that's a rare bird in and of itself. And so, I know into this time of year, we haven't really had a ton of severe weather that's plagued the area this month as compared to years past, which is great. But we also know that, by virtue of the fact that we are, on the latter part of April, that we're kind of in that window for when things can get a little bit more dicey, and after dark, obviously that can be a little bit more disconcerting for folks, just based on the fact that it's harder to see and all that. So I totally do get that. So we'll monitor this as best we can and keep you up to speed on what we can through the evening and into the overnight. But again, the tornado watch, which was issued for the northern half of the area, we'll say was replaced by a new severe thunderstorm watch. And the tornado warnings that we have now include Hopkins as well as Franklin and Titus counties, the northern parts of those counties only. Nothing severe in the Sulphur Springs area, nor anything severe in Mount Vernon or Mount Pleasant, for that matter. But areas north of there, or north of those locations, that's where we're going to keep the eye on. Shelby asking about White House for tonight. I think we'll have showers and thunderstorms eventually getting down as far south as Smith County. It'll be several hours from now, though. Not going to be something that's imminent. As we sit here at 9 o'clock now, we're still several hours away from severe weather down as far south as I-20, I think, based on the way this stuff has been moving over the last couple of hours. It is interesting, though, to see those showers starting to blossom there from Commerce back over to Greenville and then back over to the north, kind of that northeastern part of the Metroplex and near Royce City, where showers are trying to get going. Probably some effects of different boundaries in that area. We had a dry line which was moving east into this section of the area earlier on this afternoon, made some pretty decent progress eastward, then slowed down. But you've got some outflow from these showers and thunderstorms up north, and a real untapped, juicy air mass to the south all over this area. So it's a pretty good environment for things to want to try to pop up. And that's really not surprising to see storms trying to get going out there. It's kind of surprising we hadn't seen that happen earlier, to be honest with you, based on what some of the short-term models were showing us earlier on during the day. And it kind of had me thinking we might have some stuff kicking up about 7 o'clock or so down further towards I-20, but that didn't happen, obviously, and not sad about that, but glad for the rain for sure. We could sure use that. Hey, Stacy, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Good to have you there. Brittany, you in Gilmer tonight? All right. We're going to be all right. We'll have some showers moving that direction here next couple of hours. Hey, Brother Harry, appreciate you, man. Thank you. So heavy rainfall now over, northwestern Titus County now. You guys up towards Talco, and moderate to heavy rainfall back up again, folks. Pagoda seeing some very heavy rainfall in your section of what would be Red River County, and a lot of hail mixed in there also. that's going to be, I think, the bigger, more widespread piece of the action tonight's going to be the hail, both here and further to the south and southeast as these things continue to kind of track in that direction. And we have additional storms trying to get going just north of Sulphur Springs now. Not a good day to buy a vehicle, Zach. Yeah, I would agree with that, man. For sure. Yeah. So we're at 9:04. Thanks for hopping by tonight on a Friday night. A lot of folks out and about doing stuff, and a lot of folks also getting ready to bunk down for the evening. But regardless of whether you are, we're glad you're there. We'll keep an eye on this in more of a live fashion as long as these tornado warnings are spun up, and then to monitor the situation most likely with updates as we need to through the late evening and the overnight period. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch box, if you're just hopping on, was issued a short time ago. That includes most of East Texas, includes Tyler and Longview, Jacksonville, and Henderson, Carthage, Center. All of the counties kind of in this yellowish outline here involved in that. The watch does not include Knack or Lufkin or Crockett or Sabine or St. Augustine counties, but it does include the vast majority of the area as these storms. This is the primary driver for it as they come south and southeast into the area. Ashley asking about Bullard. Yeah, same story as Tyler. We'll see showers and thunderstorms eventually come southward and quite likely get into Smith County. This development on the western edge is going to help to ensure better coverage to the west. The movement on this stuff here taking a little bit more, east to southeasterly motion. So the more development that we get off to the south and west, the better the chances for getting some rainfall into portions of Van Zandt County, Henderson County, and even Smith County for that matter. It has looked all along like the better coverage on showers and storms was going to be across the eastern counties. We kind of talked about that some this morning in the update at 7 o'clock. And, I still think that's a good general idea, is that we'll see heavier totals to the east, lighter amounts to the west. That'll be kind of a general rule, I think, going forward here for the next bit. So we've got the warnings that are on the board for us. The tornado warning for Hopkins County, that runs until 9:30. Okay, that'll be for northeastern Hopkins County, and then you got Delta County in there, and south central Lamar County as well, folks, Paris area. And then further downstream, the Franklin and the northeastern Titus County warnings will run just a tad later than that. They'll go 9:45 on expiration time for those. All right, and these are radar indicated situations, nothing that has been visually sighted. So, good news there on all that. But still enough with the environment that's in place to warrant those, and a pretty messy looking setup here. Again, we're looking at the velocity product on the right, the regular reflectivity on the left. So the same batch of real estate on either side of the screen. Okay, we'll cut it right down the middle, and so we get in here. And again, we're basing all of this off of the Fort Worth radar site. So we're looking for anything running outbound from there versus anything moving, quickly back in towards the site there in Fort Worth. So you've got a couple of areas of circulation to keep an eye on. But again, just kind of a pretty messy pattern in there right now. A lot of noise. But you can see why there is that kind of that batch of tornado warnings in place for that now. But to kind of simplify things, we'll knock this back to the general reflectivity. Weather Service is continuing to kind of keep tabs on all this from the Shreveport side of things, at least. they're seeing the same thing. There's a lot of things going on there. It doesn't look quite as organized as it did here a little bit ago, but they're going to continue with those warnings for now. They're not in a position to cancel any of those as of yet, although they do look a little bit less organized. So that's good. We want disorganized when it comes to that kind of thing. Krista's got people up in Sulphur Bluff, I think it was. Krista, is that right? Yeah, Sulphur Bluff they're in that box in that polygon. I don't see anything imminent there in the Sulphur Bluff area at the moment, although you've got a decent circulation pocket off to the northwest there, just east of Highway 19. But again, nothing reported from anything that I'm seeing here as of yet. I do want to look at one thing here, though, while we're talking about that. So Weather Service is going to the Fort Worth office is going to continue that tornado warning for Hopkins County until 9:30. They went ahead and pulled the Lamar part of the warning off due to the movement of the thing. But Delta and Hopkins, they'll keep them in place until 9:30. So that's a little under 20 minutes from right now. So we're at 9:11. Probably some pretty good wind there in that Sulphur Bluff area. Just looking at some of these pixels, these velocity pixels there. That's going to be just east of 69. I don't know how much of this is getting down to the ground, but if even half of that 88 is getting down to the ground, that's it's a good 40 to 45 mile an hour wind. So it is something we want to. Besides the tornado concern there, the wind concern could catch up on you pretty fast. So let's see here. Junior's in Alba, asking about Alba. Yeah, it looks pretty quiet in Alba for the time being. Not much cooking down into Wood County for the moment, besides the severe thunderstorm watch. That is it. These showers, they'll continue to get more organized back towards Greenville and over towards Royce City. That's all well below severe limits. So Weather Service in Fort Worth did issue a new severe thunderstorm warning. I say new, about 7 minutes ago. So that's going to include central Hopkins County until 10 o'clock. Golf balls and 60 mile an hour winds possible with that. So you guys in Sulphur Springs, while you're not in the tornado warning, you are in that severe thunderstorm warning. So do keep that in mind for you guys just north and west of Como. So, again, the tornado warning does not include Sulphur Springs, but this severe thunderstorm warning does. And there's your hail concern back up there near Cooper. So a good cluster of storms there. Krista's got the folks in Sulphur Bluff says it's cool, lots of heavy rain. I bet it is. Yeah, with that outflow, I bet it's real cool up there now. We got 78 here at the house in Tyler. It was very warm today. Got up to 80. What did we do? 87. We did 86 here at the house today, which is exceptionally warm for April. And had thought that would help to kind of spur along potential. It sets the stage nicely for storms. And so we're going to realize some of that energy. It looks like this evening, although not realizing it during peak heating, but we're still going to have a lot of that left over. With 78 at 9:15 at night in April, that's a pretty warm night. Jessica asking about Canton, Cheyenne about Lindale. You guys in Canton, Van Zandt County is in the severe thunderstorm watch box. Y'all are on the edge of it, as are our neighbors in Henderson County and Anderson County. I think the effects of severe weather are probably going to be more felt just east of those counties of Van Zandt, Henderson County. But we'll see what happens with this stuff back up towards Greenville. But for the moment, I think the bigger concern is going to be what this complex of storms does. This main thing, which doesn't seem to be in any big hurry to come southward. But what it does is going to have a lot of impact on what happens further downstream towards places like Tyler and especially Longview, Gilmer, and those eastern counties here for the next bit. Lauren asking about Harrison County. Yeah, same thing. You guys, Harrison County, in a better position, I think, for rainfall generally overnight. The further east you go, it looked like that's going to be the better target area for anything for the heavier rain and our severe weather potential. So, I think those areas, Longview, Marshall, Carthage, and particularly, places in, Marion County, Cache County, those borders on Louisiana, those will be good places, I think, to see some decent rainfall tonight, which is good. Sure need it. Absolutely need it. So we'll take the rain. Happy for that. It reminds me, too, while we've got a second here, when you're heading to bed tonight, you've seen some talk from me about a new product that I've become affiliated with called Weather Call Next Gen. This is a service that will phone you with a severe weather message if your address is inside the polygon that's issued by the National Weather Service. So with the system, I really like it. I test drove it for about a year starting last spring. And you go on to their site, you put in your information, your address, and then it will monitor if you are inside the polygon of a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning. You will get a phone call with a pre-recorded message from me with the information that's pertinent to let you know that severe weather is in your immediate area. I like the phone call piece of it, because on a night like tonight, say it's midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, you can save the weather call phone number in your phone, put it into your favorites. And as we know, or you may or may not know, with those numbers inside of your favorites, those will ring through in the event that maybe you have your phone on Do Not Disturb, like many of us do during the night. I know I do that when I go to sleep at night. But if somebody important needs to call me, I've got them in my favorites. They'll ring through, let me know what I need to know. And so I think it can be a very nice way of keeping yourself a little bit more dialed in on what's going on. So it's $15 a year for the service, and you can find out more information on that. Go to weathercallservices.com. You can see the address down there on the bottom of the screen, weathercallservices.com/doc-Deason-next-gen. And I made a message, or there is a message video on the top of my Facebook page with a link in it to do a sign up for the service. And it could be a neat way for you to have a little bit more peace of mind with these, especially late night severe weather events. The service has worked very well for me. Anytime last Saturday we had the severe weather warnings going off here in town. My phone rang just as soon as, I'd say it was probably about 10, 15 seconds after the warning was issued. I got a phone call letting me know about the fact that we had the severe thunderstorm warnings in place for Smith County. So nice thing there with Weather Call Next Gen. And a night like tonight, I think is one of those where these kinds of services can be helpful. When it gets, we get awful tired awful late, and that's understandable. But sometimes the apps and those more gentle notifications sometimes don't necessarily ring through and give us the best of an alert in a situation when you're asleep, or you got sound machines and fans and CPAP machines, all kinds of different things that can kind of crowd out some of those notifications. So back here on what's going on tonight, though, we've got, again, a lot of hail there south and west of Cooper. This stuff moving southeast. This is what has prompted the severe thunderstorm warning for you guys in Sulphur Springs. All right, again, just to update, you're not in the tornado warning. That is off to the north and east of y'all, down to Sulphur Bluff, and then the additional tornado warnings for northern Franklin and northwestern Titus counties also. So we see here, Weather Service in Fort Worth. Yeah, they're looking at a bit more wind concern as these things try to kind of congeal. And these storms out here, again, this stuff south towards Commerce looks a little bit more organized than it did earlier. Looks like it's get a little more teeth to it. So that's some decent development there. So that'll help to ensure some rainfall into Rains County. Bethany says she got a notification for Van Zandt County, probably for the severe thunderstorm warning is what I would bet, Bethany, just based on the radar. No severe weather warnings for Van Zandt County yet, so that was probably for the severe thunderstorm watch, which will stay out till 4 o'clock. Yeah, Brianna was just talking about the watch box and some of these storms that are trying to get themselves going or have gotten themselves going over to Greenville and back to just north and east of Roy City. Nothing severe out of those right now, but it is interesting to see further development occur back to the southwest. So that was really probably what you heard me referring to, just talking about that. But again, no warnings out for any of this. This is more recent development. The more organized stuff is off to its east and northeast. But still, good hail indicators there along Highway 24 near Cooper. Thanks, Elise. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, a lot of false return around the Fort Worth radar site. See that all kind of blossoming. So that's interesting. Thanks, Alana. Appreciate that. Elise asking about Tyler and White House. Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a shot at seeing some showers and storms come through. The severity of those is going to be tough to say at the moment. The severe thunderstorm watch does include Smith County until 4. So the pieces appear to be on the table. Models had been showing what looked like a pretty good cluster of showers and thunderstorms running south and east through the heart of the area late tonight. And so, I think if we have anything, particularly in the Tyler, uh, White House area, we're still a ways away from that. So, for whatever that helps you in your planning tonight, I know at 9:25 you're thinking about something that's going to happen several hours away. It's not the most exciting news, but I think we do have the potential for that stuff to, if it can maintain itself, run south. It's coming into an area where there's an awful lot of untapped juicy air. Dew points at 70 here at the house. That number may not mean a lot to you, but that's a lot of juice in the air mass. Those are the kind of dew points that we see during the bulk of the summer. That's what makes it feel so uncomfortable around here for that 3.5 month stretch where you go outside and you break a sweat by the time you get to the car. But it indicates that there's a lot of fuel for those showers and storms in play, and so them coming southward and having a pretty decent environment to operate in seems like a pretty good bet for now. So, I would expect to see some rainfall and thunderstorms get into Tyler and White House and the area a couple hours away from now. We are at 9:26 here. We'll have a couple of counties, or at least the Sulphur Springs or the Hopkins County tornado warning should fall off at 9:30. If memory serves me correct, they run that until 9:30, so that gives us a little under 4 minutes from now on that. And then the Shreveport folks have their tornado warnings for northern Franklin and northwestern Titus County running until 9:45. So we'll hang here at least while those are in play, and then kind of step away and monitor from with single posts and whatnot for a while tonight if we can do that. Hey Sarah, thanks. Yeah, we ended up not having to do the procedure today, so we're able to hold off on doing that for a time. So thank you for asking and mentioning that. I was relieved, to say the very least. Weather Service saying if this weakening trend continues, they will not do any downstream tornado warnings. So that speaks to the storms over Franklin County and Titus County. So that is a good thing there. Kind of the general direction we want to see things going in, at least for now. David, I'll look into that in northern Titus County. I know where you're talking about. Good, David. Doing good, man. Thank you. Not seeing much there in the Talco area, at least anything that looks as too terribly impressive. There's some pretty good wind in there for sure. So there's some very good wind there, southwest side of Talco for sure. 50, 60 mile an hour winds there, northern part of Franklin County. You bet, David. Thank you, man. We'll keep an eye on that, though. So again, you can see those showers and storms beginning to are continuing to kind of fire themselves up out towards Greenville. That gets you to near West Tawakoni, and some hefty rainfall there. Lone Oak. This will drop some good heavy rainfall over at least northern Rains County. So good news there. 9:30 now. Weather Service in Fort Worth has allowed that tornado warning to expire for north and eastern Hopkins County. So good news there. Now we're transitioning this to a very good wind potential and also that hail potential. There, you guys over the Cooper area seeing some hefty hail south of y'all, right over the lake. So I bet you there's every bit of $50 to golf balls in that stuff. So the Weather Service is going to be probably pushing out a new severe thunderstorm warning. I bet you they're going to go ahead with something downstream to cover southern Franklin County, southern Titus, and probably Camp County as well. We'll see what they do. They might even clip northeastern or northwestern Wood County here shortly with this line starting to come in from the north and west. So we'll wait and see what that looks like. Yeah, Jimmy asking about Brownsboro and Henderson County. These storms continue to try to, come southward, although not severe at the moment. But they continue to kind of make that more south of southeast movement. Not convinced that we'll have stuff necessarily covering all of Henderson County, but we are seeing some slower development now, even further to the southwest along that line. So we'll see how that all comes together over the next hour or so. They're not making real fast progress to the south, so it's going to take a bit to see anything down into y'all's neck of the woods anyway. So that's a several hour. It's at least an hour proposition, I'll say that. Yeah, there goes that new severe thunderstorm warning, doesn't it? Look at there. All right, so.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay, so severe thunderstorm warning, and the Weather Service and the weather radios are toning out for that now. So if you've got a NOAA weather radio and you're with us in Wood County, or you're on the Tyler NOAA weather radio signal, you're gonna get this warning probably going off right now. So let's look at it together here. Severe thunderstorm warning for Camp, southwestern Cass, Franklin, Morris, southwestern Red River. There's Titus, northern Upshur, and northern Wood County until 10:45. Storms located along a line from 6 miles west of US 259 and I-30 to 22 miles northwest of Pleasant Grove, or along a line from 11 miles south of Box Elder to 25 northwest of Winsboro, moving south at 30. Golf balls and 70-mile-an-hour winds is what they're looking for in that. Okay, so that is this. All right, so we'll continue to run that warning that goes until 10:45. So that's, roughly an hour and 10 minutes away from right now. And that just gets it, down into central sections of what would be Wood County. All right. So this again comes kind of over the top of the tornado warning that's in place. But I think the general concern, even in northern Franklin County and northern Titus County for now, is going to be more straight line winds and maybe some hail in there. The tornado warning officially for this pocket of northern Franklin and Titus counties goes for about another 9 minutes until 9:45. All right, but the severe thunderstorm warning will take you an hour and 10 minutes or so out from now. So this will include you guys in Pittsburgh, Winsboro, Quitman, just north of Holly Lake Ranch, Como, Yanis, Picton, and all the way over to the east through Dangerfield, and you clip that, even that southwestern part of Cass County with this thing here. So Gilmer box is just north of you guys, doesn't include the city of Gilmer proper. Weather Service is canceling now the tornado warning as well for Franklin and Titus County. So that is great news there. So we can pull that, and we are left with severe thunderstorm warnings that cover a pretty good chunk of the area right now. Okay. So thankful that we have at least been able to take the tornado piece off the table for now. The wind threat is going to probably become as big of a piece in all of this, especially on the leading edge of this cluster. Okay. And then the hail threat in a few other spots, but not as widespread or pronounced as the wind. You bet, Ashley. Glad to help out. So that's a good overall trend. Obviously, love to have the rain, need the rain, but don't have anything rain-wise down on the Interstate 20 corridor from Longview to Tyler to Canton. Probably see some pretty good lightning off if you're in places like Mineola, and even Lindale, maybe seeing some stuff off to the north and northwest of you. Severe thunderstorm watch box again goes until 4 o'clock in the morning. That's for this yellow box here that you see. All right. That's I call that the aviation box. Storm Prediction Center will usually put a severe thunderstorm watch box like this out first, and then they'll individual weather service offices get in there and they kind of help to massage the box and decide, some of the particular counties that lie on the edge of that, whether they'll be in or out of the box. But it usually comes out looking more like a box anyway. All right, so at 9:39, we will take a bit here to step away and take a look at a couple things offline and make a few adjustments here. I want to encourage you, though, to continue to follow us for updates here throughout the night. Significant things come along. We'll try to be available to handle that if we have more tornado warnings or anything exceptionally destructive from a severe thunderstorm standpoint. We will try to come in and cover that as well. Follow me on the social sites there. Keep us up on X at Doc Deason. You can, of course, find us on YouTube at Doc Deason. When we stream live on Facebook and X, we also do that same thing at YouTube. All right. So if you've got folks who are friends or family members who don't do much with the some of those more traditional social media platforms, they might do something on YouTube. In fact, they probably do. Most people do something on YouTube nowadays. So follow us there. Email is doc@docdeason.com as well. All right. So for now, we will step out and hope you have a good rest of your Friday night. We'll be posting updates as we need to throughout the evening pertaining to additional severe thunderstorm warnings and or anything the like, and come back if we need to for anything a little bit more pertinent and pressing. All right. Thanks much, guys, for being here tonight.
Thanks for watching this live broadcast from Doc Deason's Weather. When weather's at its worst, we're at our best.